ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Forward Echo podcast. And we have an exciting one for you tonight. At least I hope so. We're going to find out soon enough. In the studio tonight, we got some good guests, in my opinion. To kick it off, we've got Strem Bitsky from Kangarillas. How you doing, Strem?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, man. Yourself?
Doing really good. And of course, we've also got Palador from Eclipse and also from the Caster booth. How you doing, Palador?
Yes, 'tis I, the mystery guest for the week.
There we go. And of course, we have Andy W from Infinite.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't have a voice like that to follow it up with. I didn't have that one on my sleeve ready, but what's up, everybody?
And
Sleeve.
All right, Spike.
And the reason we don't have a mystery guest this week is because those free voice changes are really hard on the ears, and that was a lot of fun doing it last week, and it's something we're going to do again. We're just not going to do it every week because that is a lot to handle. So
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, we've got Strem, Andy, and Palador here to go over the games that are coming up this week. Unfortunately, one of those games that I had on the list already got played, and that was Team Joker versus Illuminati, in which Illuminati took it in 2. So before we get started on predictions, I didn't actually get to watch that game, but I know Palador, you casted it, and Andy and Strem had something to say about it. So I don't know if you guys want to comment on that game.
Bad game.
I have.
Well, what happened?
What
What happened in that game?
Basically, here, I'll get another one for you. In the criminal justice system, toxicity-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Echo Arena, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as Atlas Intelligence. These are their stories. Dung dung. And that's basically
write that down.
That's basically the summation of that. But if anyone else has anything to say, go ahead.
As I understand it, Illum took it in 2 pretty decisively. Yeah, Rocker. Oh, yeah, Joker. I said Illuminati in 2. It was Joker in 2. I'm sorry. Good call there, Rocker. Yeah, that was Joker in 2. I can't believe I got that backwards. I even wrote it down wrong. But yeah, from what I hear, it was pretty decisive. It was something like 22-5 and then 23-8 or something.
22-5, and then 22-8.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big win there for Joker, and Illuminati's not feeling too good about that one, especially a couple of other losses they took for the last week or so. But as Andy W's familiar with, and Strem from preseason, you always have those weeks where you don't perform at what you would consider.
Are you hating right now?
I'm not hating.
Right
No, it is just it is
calling us out.
This is not shade.
He's trying to remind me of week 1 of season 1. Is that what I'm getting?
It is.
Well, trying to remind Strem of preseason, man. Just reminiscing over worse times.
Just digging it back up.
Look, I'm just saying. All I'm saying, because even when Ender was on, I had to reference the fact that Joker mercied Illuminati in the final series, but then Illuminati came back. So it's just a simple matter of fact. We all go through it from time to time. So Illuminati's certainly not out, just having a bit of a rut at the moment. Is all I'm saying. I'm not. That's no shade. And so Novus, we've had our own. I mean, I can't say, we're still battling it out. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and actually that's a transition into these are the games.
Let's talk about Nova's struggles, I guess.
Of which
it's only fair to the other guests here.
Well, I mean, we had we had a good couple first weeks where we had that upset over Ignite, what was seen as an upset that got us really a big confidence boost. But then we had a 3-game losing streak, 1-2, and then lost another one. A couple games we really thought we should have been able to take. So as I said, we all go through it, and it's just the nature of the sport. And yes, it is a sport.
True story. Mine was just long enough ago that people don't talk about it anymore. So, hey.
Lucky you, buddy.
Exactly. So, so we'll first touch on the games we're going to be skipping. One of these already took place or is still taking place. And that was Chaos versus Nate plus Ultra. But, yeah, so this is basically the tiebreaker round. Each of the guests can pick one of these matchups from the list. to decide which one they feel most confident in. That's Invictus versus Skull Crusaders, 6 Foot Over versus Olympus, Guinness versus Galaxy, and There Is No Team versus Deception. Anyone want to take that one? Andy, you go ahead and start.
Wait. So what am I supposed to do?
So-
I'm supposed to just.
I need to explain this better because this is every single week somebody doesn't quite. So it's on me. It's definitely on me. It's the way I explain it. So you pick any one of these games and then make a call.
So just
on
the
that.
match itself and just say
Yeah.
which team. Like.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with. There's no team versus Deception, and I'll go with There's No Team. Now,
And how many?
do I have to pick like? Okay, so how many?
Yeah.
I'll
and how
say
many?
There Is No Team in. Let's go with 2.
And the way that works is so you say there is no team at 2. If they do it in 2, you get 2 points. If they do it in 3, you get 1 point. And if they don't win, you get 0 points.
All right, cool.
And Powder, since you're the next name on my notepad here, if you want to pick one.
I think for me, I'll go perhaps. I want to say Guinness Galaxy maybe in favor of Guinness. And 2, and no disrespect to Galaxy at all, just more so Guinness has been in that's their rankings kind of impressing, a little bit of a dark horse. Obviously, they had the matches recently against what was it? I think Illuminati and Ignite, perhaps it was, and Galaxy just a newer team, so my pick is just based off of experience levels. I know Guinness also a newer team, but I think overall, like individually, just more experience on their roster, so that's why I'm going with them.
All right, and Shrem, if you want to pick one.
I'm doing my research right now. I got like 15 Chrome tabs open, and I think I just gotta go with
Only 15.
There Is No Team versus Deception, and I think There Is No Team's gonna take it in 3.
All right, so that was Andy W with There Is No Team in 2, Powder with Guinness in 2, and Strem with There Is No Team in 3. All right, so we'll use that. We'll go ahead and move on to our first matchup of the week. And anyone following along, if you just look at the list of matchups that Dakin puts on the homepage of the Echo Arena portion of the VRML website, my goodness, that was a mouthful. We go from bottom to top and just pull out the ones that were excluded, and we're just kind of going up in order. So this first one, Team Galaxy versus Space Force, and Galaxy is that new-ish team, not so new anymore. They've been playing this entire season 1. That's a team of Chucky Joseph, Cyanide VR, Death Creeps, Grief, and Furcar. And they're going up against that newer team of Space Force, but not new names, about Lanzan, Arrow Knight, Anime for Life, Ender's Lot, and Pyro Polar Bear. Whoever wants to take that one first here.
Yeah, so they've gotten rid of Cyanide and Grief. So it's Chucky, Death Creeps, the Diddler, Furcar, and Unguarded 4. So there's like some names in there. I still don't really know. Obviously, I mean, like, it's nothing against Galaxy. Like, they're a new team. I like what they do. They bring in new people and they start kind of getting that your foot in the door. But it's definitely going to end up being Space Force in
Door.
2. Door? Bringing up
Door,
doors?
door.
Fine. But Space Force definitely too. Galaxy just needs to get maybe a consistent roster together and start practicing and then taking it a bit more seriously.
And real quick, just on that note, some of these are going to be outdated. I went through and got new ones in for the new teams, but I didn't actually have the time today to go through and make sure all of them were fresh. So if some of them are outdated, I do apologize for anybody who notices that their team roster is a week behind. But Strem.
Strem, yeah, go. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Sorry, whoever wants to go.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna drink Dr. Pepper. Please sponsor me.
I noticed
Sure.
that both these teams have 5 players rostered right now, so it depends on who plays in the actual match. I think I've not seen Furcar in pubs. I think I've seen Unguarded 4 though, and he's good. Same with Death Creeps. I think it depends on who they play, but I'm just gonna have to go ahead and guess that Space Force will take it in 3.
Okay, well for me, It's kind of the same case, like my pick earlier with that tiebreaker one. I'll go with Space Force in 2 here, and it's based just more so on individual experiences because obviously both teams still new as teams, but when you break it down by an individual basis, Space Force just has more experience on their side. I mean, you're talking, about again, Anime for Life, been there since beta days. Ender's Lot as well, who obviously first person to 10,000 games. He was being mentioned over in Discord earlier today. So I think they got the edge in this one, and yeah,
How many games do you think they'll do it in?
I think it'll be 2.
Two, Space and two. All right, so that's
Yeah.
all three of you
And
picking Space Force. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna note too, because even looking at some of their stats here across the games from beginning to end, I mean, their scoring is like the overall average. It seems to be kind of increasing compared to their first month or so. Their first not month, or their first 2 weeks. They have some 20, 30 point games in here, and so I think yeah, they're maybe starting to find that stride because I think there's a lot of talent on that team. Just need to find the chemistry.
I absolutely agree. I mean, there's an insane amount of talent on Space Force, and as you say, it really comes down to chemistry. I mean, we see it time and time again. Teams with, as far as when you look down the roster, you look at individual skill is almost evenly matched, but one team's been together for 6 months, and one team just got together 2 weeks ago, and you can see that play out in the game. It definitely plays a role there. But we use that to transition here into Space Force versus Olympus. Olympus, a brand new team. That's Lols are the best. Is the player in the chat there saying he had that his first game this week. And they're playing. Yeah, like I said, Olympus. That's a team of Whoosh, Alduin, Ice, Wotai, and Lols are the best. And I gotta be honest, I'm not too familiar with any of these players outside of seeing them around Discord lately. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen them.
I've maybe seen Whoosh, and then I've seen a few others, I guess. But my guess would just be Space Force. Since I'm just going completely that I'm lost with the Olympus roster, pretty much. That I'm just gonna go Space Force probably in 3 again. I'll try to guess it. It'll be a little bit closer of a game, but should be good either way.
For me, I'll not to be a broken record, but just same thing, experience wise, and I'm kind of going with the known, so it'll be a 2 for Space Force here for me.
For the same reasons as Palador, I think 2 for Space Force.
I do want to note though that while I don't know these players super well over on Olympus, I d- I do know like Quotai because I've casted a couple. Uh, well, one of their games, and then another game was casted by one of the other casters. But Kotai in both the games so far has been a standout to me. Still, again, learning the rest of these guys' games, and it's just kind of a process. It takes a few weeks, but just early indications of that Kotai is a pretty good player for being, one of them that I haven't heard of prior in comp.
All right, now laws are the best. If you're still in chat there, definitely gonna want to prove all of these guys wrong as you guys take on Space Force this week, and definitely get that win. I'm rooting for you. We'll go ahead and move on now to this next one. It's going to be 6 Foot Over versus Skull Crusaders. 6 Foot Over, newish team of Vanzi, Crimson, Leaf Around, The Law, Firebird, and Rickster. Although that might be outdated. Maybe not. I'm not sure. And then Skull Crusaders, that team is Saucy, Ant Gas, also known as Anthony Gasolini, Cam Jam, though that's no longer true, Oculizator, Asgod, and Filibust. And if anybody wants to, yeah, I mean, I actually I just got out of a scrim with Skull Crusaders, and yeah, no, they're a really solid team. Ock is really aggressive, Saucy and Antgas, and Filibust. That's who we played against: Saucy, Antgas, Ock, and Filibust. And yeah, it was a well fought scrim. I don't know how you guys are feeling about this matchup, though.
Well, I can start. So this one, I just casted Skull Crusaders last night versus Chaos. That was a very fun match to end the Sunday night there. It went to an OT situation, third round. So it was a really good one, and it was Skull Crusaders that came out on top of that one. And so on that note, I don't know. So like 6 foot over, it's another one of those cases where it's also a newer roster full of players who are some of them I do in fact recognize, but it's just again they haven't been involved in comp heavily before. I think Skull Crusaders as of late, and if last night is any indication, really starting to find their stride there because even looking at their stats as well, uh, similar to Space Force, but actually Skull Crusaders, with an exception of just one of the matches, just about every other match here, it's almost a progression of scoring. In terms of their overall scores, like you can see it increasing every week, basically. Um, and yeah, so I'm picking Skull in this one, but I'll say in 3.
I really wanted to choose 6 foot over, and then Palador kept talking, and now I just am like a Skull Crusaders fanboy. So I'm gonna say Skull Crusaders in 2.
Yeah, I was kind of initially thinking 6 foot over, but then I was realistically, I don't really see them putting out too many like scrim requests, or I don't see a lot of these players, I guess. So I know for a fact when Skull Crusaders started playing with Oculusator, though, they became. I think they're like it in what's the word for it? Exponentially enhanced the team. Like I think he
I feel
brings
like
a lot
it's a matter of time, basically. I feel.
yeah, yeah, it's really just a matter of time before he. I feel like Oculusator can lead that team to a lot of success. So I'm definitely going to go with Skull Crusaders and probably in 2.
Yeah, Oculus Slater, I mean, I've said it on the cast already with each one because it's true. So far, I've casted, I think, 3 or 4 matches since Oculus Slater's joined for Skull Crusaders. And every match, without fail, he basically is leading his team in every category. Uh, Points, assists, saves, stuns. Um, yeah, he's been seriously impressing. I mean, obviously he's been around since almost the beginning as well, so it's not a surprise per se. But I think that maybe the most surprising thing, and again, not one of those knocks, but it's just a question of how you transition from like pub to competitive play when you haven't done it before, and he's done it pretty well. Like he's a very willing passer. Again, like he leads his team most games in assists so far. So it's even though we know him from pubs as like the kind of offensive powerhouse and he likes really getting jukey and holding the disc sometimes, quite frankly. But in team play and competitive play, he's been a good teammate.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move on now. Excuse me, to this next matchup, and this one is between Guinness and Deception. Guinness, a new team this season of Mo Jolly, Captain Will, Leo the Great. Although I believe that might be out of date. Supreme Buns and no, I'm sorry, it's that Green Pigeon that is no longer on Guinness. I believe he moved over to that newer team of Adrenaline. But then they're facing off against your Deception, a new team as of a couple weeks ago of Mozzie, Citrus, Dollar Ranger, and I Blow at Sports. And yeah, certainly a few names that have been around for a little while. And I honestly, I don't know if I could call this one. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it.
I think Guinness, and I'll keep up my in 2 train. I Guinness is really impressed. Like they had hard matchups, so probably the last week didn't really show up too much of like what their skill is, but I think they're getting it together really well. Deception is just still super new. They need to get the synergy together, and if they can just start I think Deception still just struggles with a lot of pub habits that are coming through, and Guinness is starting to transition way better into the actual competitive scene. So I think Guinness has a stronger foothold in kind of that lower mid-tier team section and category.
And also, not to leave anybody out, I do apologize to Link One. Link One just recently joined Deception as well, which I think
Shout out
may
Link One.
be, yeah, I think that might be a game changer there for them.
Yeah, he's coming off Instinct, I believe.
Yeah, definitely a
So,
very competent player.
oh yeah, for sure. So that's going to be a big boon for them indeed. And I think, yeah, for me, I'll go with Guinness still, but I think it'll be in 3. Only thing that gives me a little hesitation, I think, is because yeah, Deception, bit of a newer roster compared to Guinness in the team sense, the overall chemistry sense. But yeah, for Guinness, as long as assuming they have their full team, I think they'll come out in 3. Like, they have had a few matches over the weeks where the rosters kind of switched around or they've had substitutes, things like that. But barring anything funky like that, I think Guinness in 3.
Yeah, I know that Mozzie and Duller have been playing a lot recently. Like they've always played a lot, but especially in the last few weeks or months. But again, like what you said, Andy, about how their team kind of brings pub habits into the play, I think that's very true. And they have a lot of potential and they can be really, really good. But for this match in particular, I got to go with Guinness and 2.
All right, so so far, Powder, we're gonna start getting you to go last because I feel like you're influencing the picks here because y'all are not diverging. Well, then again, these are maybe some matchups that are easier to. I wouldn't say easier, but yeah. Before I start
Toxic.
digging that hole, we'll go ahead and move on
In the criminal justice
to.
system.
I don't want to come off a certain way here. So let's see. That was Guinness Deception. So we'll move now to Chaos versus There Is No Team. Chaos, that team of Dano, McFabulous, Cakester, Curry to Hurry, and Farafo, versus There Is No Team. It's going to be difficult to predict what their lineup's going to be. That team of Guygasm, Caption, Fair Enough, Huzzah, Rad David N, and White Dragon. And Rad David N and White Dragon certainly not there, only in name. They've been playing periodically more than once. So yeah, impossible to really predict what their roster will be in any given game. But always brings a little bit more excitement when the devs are actually playing in the comp league. So yeah, again, really because of that, because of the fact that it's kind of hard to know who's going to be playing, kind of hard to call this one. But Shrem, we're going to let you take this one first.
This is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Farafo is the homie from forever ago, and I'm glad to see that he's playing, especially in this match against all the other old boys. Except for Caption, he's not old, but he's the homie still. I don't know. It's going to definitely be a close game. I think it's going to be in 3, regardless of which way it goes. But I'm going to have to vote for There Is No Team in 3.
See, I think it depends on who's going to be playing in There's No Team. I know they kind of have a rotating roster, which definitely will impact. And Chaos has been kind of picking up what they've been able to do. I know they just recently lost the Skull Crusaders, but they beat them in the past and they had a close game. And Chaos has definitely been improving. Definitely a 3 game, but I'm going to go with Chaos. I'm going to say Chaos in 3. Try to switch it up.
Oh, there you go. Variation. I like it. For me, also, I feel the inherent need to address chat because I haven't at all, and I usually do. But yeah, Lato's saying I want to see special delivery on there. That'd be cool if only the rosters were 8 slots. So we can see special and Nathan in there. But yeah, for me, I think I'm gonna go with probably There Is No Team on this one. Oh, that's hard. I don't know. Because the thing is, Chaos has been also one of those teams off to a slower start. Started with the preseason, the roster shuffles there, and then starting to establish in the beginning of season 1, like week 1, 2, they were struggling a bit. I feel like lately though they've looked a lot more cohesive. Like I mentioned, the game I casted last night between them and Skull Crusaders. I mean, it went, like I said, right to overtime in the 3rd round. So I don't know. I feel like I'm almost taking a risk by saying so many game 3s, just given statistically so far we haven't seen a ton of game 3s, round 3s in this season. But despite that, I'll say There Is No Team in 3.
Yeah, Dimway was muted. You were absolutely correct. I apologize for that. Oh my goodness. I was addressing Late Toast, saying, excuse me, I was addressing B Love, saying that Farafo is on Chaos. Strem may have said something that sounded like he was implying that Farafo was on theirs in team, but yeah, I know that's not. He wasn't actually saying that. It was just I think it was the order of like what he was talking about, and it just came off that way. Um, But yeah, no, Froffer is in fact on Chaos over there. Beloved, it is your bad. You should feel bad. Um, yeah, so we'll go ahead and move on to this next one. Of course, I'm kidding. This is a brand new team. Don't even have uh, I had to go with the long boy here. It's going to cover chat a little bit, but Adrenaline versus Spaghetti. Adrenaline, that team of White Fox, Dragon King, Dual Game, and that Green Pigeon. And worthy of note, White Fox and Dragon King were two of the four members of my team Salt Free from ESL Season 3. So I'm really excited to see those two get back together because they were a fairly decent boost pair. And of course, they're pairing up a Dual Game and that Green Pigeon. They're going up against the Spaghetti, the team of Mini Hat, Meatballer, Owl, Y-Perm, and Isolate. And I'm personally really excited for this matchup. Really excited to see how this one plays out. So yeah, kind of hard to predict on a brand new team, but what are you guys thinking about it? Because White Fox and Dual Game and that Green Pigeon been around for a little bit now.
White Fox and Dragon King are. Sorry, I was a little bit far away from my mic. I don't know, but White Fox and Dragon King are. I remember them being really fast, but kind of like the Chocolate and Jailgram vibe, where they're super fast to get up and down the arena. So I'm interested
Yeah.
to see how that comes across, and Dual maybe being back, and but Spaghetti's just they're way more settled into the meta. I think Adrenaline is just gonna probably get a little bit shocked in the 4v4. So my guess would be Spaghetti 2-0.
I'll guess the same thing for me. Spaghetti 2-0 also. Just more familiar with the roster. Not that I don't trust the analysis from Dimwee and Andy because they're good at that. But yeah, for me, I'm just Spaghetti's really starting to come along. I think even in their chat mentioning late toast and well, won't mince words there, but yeah, Spaghetti just not all that of a hot start. Granted, they were doing or running with a partial roster, like they didn't have. I believe Meatballer wasn't there for a time. Al as well, so they're kind of rotating through different rosters and players and subs and things like that. Not to be mistaken for a spaghetti sub, but anyway, a spaghetti and two. That's me. They've been looking good. I've got
And
the.
they did have that big win over Ignite just the other day.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what I mean. It's just spaghetti is really starting to well to roll. Yeah, so spagoodles.
Yeah, like I can't really add anything that's not been said. Spaghetti and two.
Stremboodles.
Strimbaloney.
All right,
Haven't done one of those in a while, so I had to add it.
Yeah, dude.
We'll
Can you just give me one more?
Strembob Bikini.
Nice. I like it.
There we go.
I like it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I had there was a speaking of not speaking of, but both of you are here, Kang and Infinite. I was trying to put together this really like the monster trucks have come to town style like hype up video for y'all's game the other week, especially after the little flare up in the league organization channel. And I ultimately the product that was coming out, I kind of sounded like I was doing a really bad Nixon impression, so ultimately didn't come out with a video. But in that video, I was giving everybody nicknames, and because Strem, because of your nickname in the Discord, Strembolini, Alfredo, I dubbed you the predatory pasta, Strembolini Alfredo.
I don't like that. never called me that ever.
The predatory pasta. And it was I called Andy and Zach were the Crash Brothers, and I was really just coming up with anything ridiculous.
Oh no, that's not.
Oh,
not what
thank
you,
God it
that's
wasn't
not what
the
you
dingers.
use. I was
Thank
about
God
to
it wasn't the
say.
dingers.
No, not for that video. No, certainly
That
not.
needs to die.
The Dinger Brothers.
Thanks, damn way.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up, but Andy did. So.
Sorry,
And,
he didn't
I
brought up
was
in enough
going to.
podcasts now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
I feel like it
big.
would have gone around somewhere.
You guys know it's even funnier than the W brothers or the Dingers?
What?
All right. So their name's the W. They're the W brothers, right? All right.
Yes.
All right. Call them the L brothers because all they do is lose.
Oof.
Didn't
Oof.
you guys just lose
Wait,
the flare?
Andy.
I'm not talking
I was gonna say, Andy, where's that squeaky chair? That would have been a perfect time for it.
Dimwee told me to
behind
trash talk.
It just backfired on you, man. I'm sorry.
I didn't want any of
All right.
I didn't want to be the first to laugh, and I didn't think Andy was going to, so I couldn't.
All right, so we use that to transition into the next one here. Save Strem from any more bad memories there. But yeah, we got Adrenaline again here, but they're coming up against Ignite. An interesting matchup to see. Adrenaline getting two kind of boss matchups here in their first week as a team. So yeah, Ignite certainly a team that needs no introduction. Maybe kind of on their own little rut at the moment, which is sad to see because they're one of the most, they've been around for a while. One of the more sure-footed teams otherwise in the league. Definitely a tough team to go up against. Uh, yeah, I mean, I have an idea as to how you guys will probably call this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you call it nonetheless.
I'm
Ignite
just
in
gonna,
two.
yeah, it's gonna be Ignite in 2. But just to put this out there though, if Ignite can put down what they do in scrims and actually get that into how they play inside their matches, they would be a significantly different team. And I don't know how they just need to get like a little bit of momentum, and I think it'll carry them pretty far. But well, no pun intended with the roster, but
Absolutely
that
intended.
I do think it'll be 2-0 for Ignite, but just to still put that out there, Ignite just I feel like if they can get how they scrim out into their matches, they'll do significantly well for themselves.
Yeah, I think they got to win their 1v1s, win their duels.
Hmm.
When they're duels.
Is that another
Duels.
puns?
I was hoping you'd get it, bro.
So they can be the king.
Unfortunately
soon.
for both of you, damn it, Andy, you stole it. How dare you?
Let's go.
You know what? That's
Wait, what was it? I missed it. I missed it. What was it,
too.
bro?
use the king. Use the king. And I really
Use-
don't like that.
wait,
I'm
use
gonna,
the
I'm gonna,
king?
I'm
What do you
gonna
mean?
wolf at you to take
The
from
VT
Dimwee.
The VTS king? I
Yes,
don't
the
get it.
VTS
That was bad.
king.
That was a
You know,
bad
be the
joke.
king of the puns
Hey,
is
hey.
where I was gonna go. Okay, but whatever.
Bad.
Whatever.
Bad.
Anyway.
Try again.
Get robbed.
You know what? I just did. I can't even come back. So anyway, Ignite in 2, okay, for me. Nothing more needs to be said. I'm just gonna recover from this pun stealing. I'm pretty pissed right now. I'm drinking my Dr. Pepper.
Well,
Go away.
and I was just gonna kind of expand on what Andy was saying. Was Ignite is one of the. I mean, they're a top 10 team that just hasn't been playing a top 10 game lately, and it's really for me it's sad to see because like I expect them to be a top 10 team, and they are. I mean, otherwise aside from what we've seen the last couple of weeks, they are a top 10 team. They just haven't been on it lately. So I really hope to see them get back into their game and start pushing up again as they should. I mean, that's a team that should be competing for gold and gold division. And I guess even and I seem to have missed one. But anyways, all right. So we'll use that. We'll go ahead and move on now to another new team coming in. And yes, as somebody pointed out, one of the rosters from earlier was old as Grief and Cyanide split off to form their own team. This is a team of Invictus with Princess AG, Swagger Nuts, King Crispy. King Crispy, the only one on that roster.
They
Sorry.
split off, so they should be Evictus. Ha! I got one. I'm happy now. That's all I needed. I'm good now. I'm happy again.
We got that out of the way.
I just needed one. That's all.
That actually hurt.
Shut up, Skinny. I
That-
may
no,
not
that
be reading chat
physically
much, but I
hurt.
read that one. Go away. Go away, Skinny. Go away. You're fired.
Invictus, they're going up against Naples Ultra. That team is Zux, Dox, Brandon Cecil, and Solid Shot in their first week.
Naples Ultra in 2, as long as they can keep Solid Shot in the game, because I know he has internet problems, and that plagued the entire match that we were in, and they had to unfortunately play a 3v4 for a lot of it. But Naples, I think, just has the more consistent player. They just play more frequently as well. Like a lot of the people that I see on Invictus, I know all the names, but I don't think they play too frequently, and they definitely, coming together as a new team is going to be tough. So 2-0 to Naples.
So Invictus has a roster of like straight pub stars, and that's not a bad thing. I actually want to see more of that because there's a lot of players I run into in pubs that don't have a team, and they definitely could form one. So this gets me excited to see if Any Plus loses this game. I don't think it'll be because Invictus played particularly organized and well, like a like a long time team. It's probably going to be a little sloppy and panicked, but that's kind of how pubs are, and I think that's kind of Invictus's element here. So I'm going to take a risk and say Invictus in 3.
I can see it. I can respect it.
For me, I guess I'm gonna just stray from the pack here. Maybe this is gonna be my downfall because I don't know a lot of the players on Victus. Besides a few recognizable names, like obviously seeing Grief, and then Cyanide Princess, Swagger, and King Crispy. Not as familiar with, but I do feel so on my end. And A plus Ultra, they're an interesting team. I don't really know what to expect from them sometimes, but they're obviously talented. The thing is, they have players there who have been playing together a long time. So I think chemistry-wise, if they're locked on, they have one of those play styles on A plus Ultra where I feel sometimes it could be to their disadvantage, but other times they can just start really piling on and start snowballing at any given moment. I feel like in a particular round. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. I'll say Nay plus in 2, and I'll also say Mercy in there somewhere.
Oh, is that our first Mercy bet
Ooh,
here?
Mercy bet. Let's go.
Like
From
I said, I
Palador.
want to go on a limb. That's it.
All
Might
right.
not work, but it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Mercy
So I mentioned that I'm taking a risk, and then you just go show me how to take a risk, buddy.
Show you how it's done, bro.
And I also saw
Leave it to the cowboy.
late text in chat asking who is Princess. Princess, she used to be around a lot
Don't know
more.
Princess?
Dude, Princess is OG as
She has been around for a long time. She is an absolute sweetheart. Definitely one of the nicer pub stars, as it was put. One of the friendlier pub stars. Oh yeah, she kind of
right after I make the Mercy call, you're gonna make me feel bad.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm
you
gonna make you
should
feel
you
bad.
should feel bad. You should feel
Shame
real bad.
Palador.
That's why you
Really?
took
A
the
Mercy bet, dude?
I just wanted to be controversial for once.
Xena's saying almost as friendly as Gamer Boy, and I gotta be honest, is Gamer Boy not friendly? He's always been friendly to me. I don't know.
Gamer Boy's been pretty friendly to me too, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean he gets chatty in some of the Discord servers, but otherwise, I mean that's he's generally and that's not to say he doesn't. I'm sure he's young. And the kids tend to have more trouble with impulse control, but. Yeah, no, it's definitely friendly, and I'm excited to see Invictus play. I'm very excited. Hopefully, I can get in on one of the casts for them this week. But yeah, and we can move on to the next one. However, there's no overlay for it as I completely failed in Legends versus Ignite. I'll get that in for the next week. So yeah, so imagine what you're seeing on the stream now is Legends, SSVC Legends, a team of who is that? Vlastro, Captain Canada, Single Shot, and who am I forgetting?
Skyla.
Sheila. How could I forget Sheila? And they're going up against Ignite, Ignite, who again is a team that's going to go far and be kings of the game. And what's the one I'm forgetting? They're going to woof their way through. They're going to woof down the competition. And who am I forgetting?
After their duel.
After their duel, yes. Yeah, I'm not good with puns. I've never been good with puns. All my puns are forced. I'm not afraid to admit it. And well, let's just let you guys take this one away from me here.
I'm not gonna vote right now. I don't gotta go first. I just want to point out, if you go to Ignite's page on the VR Master League website,
it's raining Ignites.
It rains Ignite logos.
There's some. I think it was Lanzan who discovered it initially, and I hesitate with what. I hesitate to say this just because I have no idea what this could actually amount to.
Are you making a cheat accusation? Are you breaking your rules?
It's not a cheat accusation because this isn't considered cheating.
But
yes, you can inject code into the VRML website. Now, I don't know how far that goes, but obviously we've seen certain teams take advantage of that, Ignite being one of them.
I think Orbit does it too, or did it at least at some point.
They did it, and then they stopped. But anyway, if it's allowed, it's pretty cool.
Xena's saying,
it is pretty cool, yeah.
Xena's saying, don't apologize for it. They removed it after it was shown. They removed Orbits after. So Orbit didn't take this down.
Stream.
It was removed, according to Xena. So maybe not allowed. And like I said, I'm not suggesting anybody go try to break the website. But yeah, it's Okay, there's Lands saying it's very limited HTML, not really that hacky. Okay, so not really
Okay.
code injection. It's just you can kind of like how I don't know if anybody remembers MySpace, but that was something you could do in MySpace.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would you pirate a car?
Yes.
That has no relevance whatsoever.
Yes, I
Anyway,
would. So that little
Ignite's
little
got
90s
this.
throwback
Ignite's
there.
got it in 3, dude. Ignite's got it in 3. They do. It's. I'm sorry, they do.
So Shamrock Ignite in 3. Andy
Well,
Palador.
for me, again, I'll go out on a semi limb, I suppose. I'm gonna say, and again, this is no offense because I love Ignite, but I'm going with Legends on this one. I do feel Ignite lately just slipping off a bit. I mean, not giving the performances that we have expected over the seasons. I think that could change on any point. But that said, for Legends, I think it's kind of the flip flop. They started off pretty hot into the season. They got a little bit, I guess, humbled, you would say, against a couple top teams the last couple of weeks, facing off against who was it? I think King and Illuminati, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
correct.
So they ate a couple humble pies in 1 week, but that was just that. They had their first big test against the top tier there, and even though they couldn't quite come through on that, I feel like Legends are in store for a really good rebound game. Meanwhile, Ignite, they need to find their first kind of a rebound game and still get their foothold. So for me, Legends, I'm gonna say in 2.
I'm gonna say Ignite in 3. Legends, yeah, they ate the humble pie, and they're probably gonna be coming in pretty hot and scrims and whatever else. Ignite did take some matches off some, what was it, Illuminati recently? Whenever they played, I think Illuminati still has some more, I guess, experience with the higher level teams and playing at that faster pace that probably the top 4 or 5 teams do. So my guess is Illuminati, just with that, or not Illuminati, Ignite with that experience rather, would take this one in 3.
All right, and actually, I just discovered why it was that I was interested in that overlay. I got to Legends versus Ignite, realized I needed to update Legends roster, and then because of the next matchup, Legends versus Spaghetti, that's where I took it. So apologies to Legends and Ignite there. That will be back on Sunday. So yeah, but yeah, we're moving on now to Legends versus Spaghetti.
Shout out to the
And,
Legends logo, by the way, brand new there.
Yeah,
Looks
it's
good.
really
Pretty
awesome.
sick. I like it.
And what I really like about it is if you look, so for the website, they have that background on it. Really, that's just a mirror of the actual logo. So the logo itself can be cut out circular for the stream and whatnot. So I really like that design. And I know they got somebody to do it, and I can't remember who it was.
Oh, I already did it today.
I mean, they got someone to make it for them.
Oh, gotcha. I was gonna say the cutout. Yeah.
There was a lot of chat about it in the Discord, in the league Discord when they debuted the new logo. But yeah, also a big fan of that new logo. But yeah, really excited to see this matchup between these two teams that can get really hot and play really, really well. Play up against the best, going up against each other. So yeah, I figure this one might be a little tough to call.
I just want to also say too, Legends new logo, great. The new name, as much as people kind of tease, about the acronyms or initialisms, whatever it is, SSVC, I kind of miss it already. Just saying. But anyway, for me, I'm gonna go here again on maybe my picks are a little bit unorthodox compared to some other people, but I'm going with Spaghetti on this one. I feel like, again, Legends are good, but Spaghetti, they're a weird enough team in a good way that I think they'll be able to catch Legends kind of out of sorts, just with their style, because it's a very interesting mix between meta but also kind of doing their own thing. I mean, I've made the comparison calling Spaghetti as well as teams like Orbit a little bit like those Joker-esque teams from about a year ago. That is to say, who are meta but also not. They're kind of doing their own thing at times. So I feel like, even though I went with Legends in 2 in the last game, this one I'll give Spaghetti 3 because I think they can just catch fire. And now with their full roster, especially starting to get that chemistry, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing. This could all blow up in my face like by Sunday, and I could be like really low scoring after some of my guesses tonight. That's okay.
I'm gonna guess Spaghetti in 2. I think Spaghetti's got that tilt factor, and kind of how you said they don't always play meta. I think they're always the team that's looking to play something else.
Yeah, it's the tilt factor. That's kind of again, Joker-esque, right?
Yeah, I
criminal
know.
justice. Anyways.
Yeah, like the main one though, that was kind of the the kindler of that Y perm. it depends, I guess, if he plays. But I'm still gonna get Spaghetti in 2. I think that's well. Wait, we just said they beat Ignite, correct? That was
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
their yeah. I
They
think
beat
they're
Ignite in
definitely gonna
2.
yeah they're definitely gonna take that momentum forward. I think they have a good chance to knock them down.
I think if Spaghetti wins, it'll be in 2 for the exact reasons Andy said. And I think if Legends wins, it'll be 2, and it'll be very, very close the whole time. Spaghetti will try their hardest, but Legends will take it. And I think we'll know which team will win within the first like 2 minutes of the first game, just purely based off what happens there. And like you said, the tilt factor.
Yeah. So who gets momentum first?
Yeah, whoever gets
Like,
momentum is going to run with it. And I think it'll be over within the first 2 minutes. And it'll
yeah,
be
not
2
not that it
games.
not that it matters towards points or anything for us, but kind of
Yeah.
to mirror what you guys are saying. For me, yeah, it's kind of. I feel like if it happens, you get that tilt factor, and it's going to be something like Legends takes the first round, perhaps, then Spaghetti reverse sweeps, purely based off a good second round, but then the tilt kind of carrying over because of
Yeah.
the way that they play, just
Yeah.
frustrating them. So I feel that's kind of the case. If Spaghetti wins the first round, that it could be a 2-0, honestly. But I think, yeah, it just we'll see. I mean, I would like to be proved wrong, honestly.
I
I'm
think
hoping for that good match.
I
So yeah,
think it'll not definitely. I'm gonna say Legends in 2 though. It'll be close.
we'll
Although
see.
you did just inspire me, I think after this week, I'll start doing giving everybody kind of a freebie that you have to use at least once, and that's on a game that you think might be too tough to call. Maybe just saying, all right, this will be my freebie, and it won't be worth any points or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure something out because yeah, there's definitely some times where it's really you look at a matchup and you go, this could go either way at any minute for any reason at any
Nah,
time
nah,
during the
that's part
game.
of the fun. Don't give us an out, dude. Don't give us an out.
That's true. That is a good point. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on now to the next one that I'm excited for. That's Nova versus Nebula. Nova, that relatively unknown team there of Venom, Essen, Serdimli, and Zesper going up
Sir Dim,
against.
who?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They're up against this team of, I say they, of course, we are up against that team of Nebula, Chocolate, Kaznaz, Latos, and Sweet Tooth, who will probably be playing sometime over the weekend. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because I haven't been able to play Chocolate. I was on a team of Chocolate for all of like 16 hours. Sometime after I think, or no, it was before ESL season 3, and yeah, a little while ago. So Lit's been around, and he's been widely regarded, particularly as of late, as kind of a one man boost or regrab speed multiplier. Something I can attest to. He's definitely a very fast player. And Sweet Tooth, surprisingly good in goal. Really good goalie. That can kind of I don't know how consistent he is, but he can be so incredibly clutch and of course Lay Toast, who we had on last week. So yeah, like I said, very excited. But now I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it.
Well, first I want to ask the same thing Five Spotted asked. I was prepared. What about Arthur? Is he gonna play? Are you gonna give us the scoop here, or
Oh, Arthur, he's So yeah, I guess I haven't updated Nova's. He's officially on our sub roster. It's because there was some question of, oh yeah, we thought Essen broke his headset the other day, and Essen was actually able to. He opened it up and was able to fix it. It wasn't too big of an issue, just a short. And so while that was going on, we were like, we didn't know if we were going to have Essen in the game. I can't remember which game it was. I think it was our first game this past week, whichever one that was. So we were like, well, we need a sub, and it's kind of hard to when you're doing this last minute and a couple hours before your game. We weren't sure if we were gonna because we have plays that we kind of depend on the other person knowing what's going on and knowing how we play and someone who's been with us, and I'm sure we all have that sort of feelings about it. So we were like, well, Arthur knows our plays. He practices with us periodically because it helps to have that extra man sometimes. And so we brought him in as a sub, as an official rostered sub, just in case we needed him, and just in case we need him in the future. And yeah, he's actually played in a few of scrims with us to some great effect. He's a great guy. Venom's dad. It's clear where Venom gets his temperament from because Venom is one of the chillest dudes. Like Venom is the guy in comms that when it starts getting heated, and we never yell at each other. That's one thing I love about playing on Nova is we'll get heated, but at no point is there any like inner team yelling. It's all yelling about something or yelling about something the other team is doing. But Venom is
Right.
so relaxed. He's the guy that goes, all right, all right, all right, don't get tilted. We're cool. Just next play. Let's move on. And yeah, it's clear where he gets that temperament from his dad, because his dad's the same way. Dad's super chill.
I really like Venom, but I kind of preferred Mystery, and even above that, I think Great Z was better.
And what about Jake from State Farm, as
What?
Late Toast points out?
Different guy.
I know, different guy, but I'm just saying.
he's all right.
I mean, yeah, he's your teammate, sealable bag after all.
I'm confused.
Jake from State Farm. He's
Yeah, that's
Look.
right. Palador's guess was that it was sealable, and he was really
Yeah,
consistent with
Palador
it.
is out here. Palador is out here guessing Sealable while Sealable was streaming a different game.
he was hard committed to the routine, but
And it-
like
He was playing an old video.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay,
look,
restreaming.
look at that dork. He's streaming right now, pretending he's not still Jake from State Farm.
No, he's pretending he's playing Outward.
No, it's funny because honestly, I think I may have over my entire time in the game, I might have spoken a dozen words to Sealable total over the last 2.5 years. I never see him. I just happen to never see Sealable Bag ever anywhere.
He just has
I
a
see him
very
too much.
similar cadence. Like Jake from State Farm had similar cadence to Sealable, but it sounded like Sealable doing a voice impression, trying to do some, like I wasn't buying into the whole Rickster thing at all. I knew it wasn't Rickster. I felt like that was just Sealable doing a Rickster impression, because he definitely likes his impression. Always pulls those out, in comms every now and then, or in real life and stuff. He's got them voices, so that's why I thought and still think it's Sealable. For all I know, he was just doing an Essend impression. Yeah,
That's all it was.
seems legit. Yeah. Sorry, where were we at?
We
Nova
are-
deserves
Oh,
this.
yeah,
It's
Nova.
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 Nova's
Nova.
Nova.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we're just keeping Late Toast
Yeah.
even later toast.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
I know
Nova
I
and
get to
three.
sleep, but
Nova and 3.
Nova and 3.
Is that Andy Anstrom with Nova and 3?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bud. Oh yeah.
bud. Oh, you betcha.
that's where I was going too. So yeah, Nova.
Oh yeah. We're,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not gonna have
Get
any
on the
different
Nova
names.
train, baby. Let's go.
Unanimous Nova and 3. So we got move on to this next one here. That's going to be Instinct versus Nebula. Instinct, the team that's been hot, and of course that roster there is outdated. Link One no longer on the Instinct roster, but otherwise I'm pretty sure still up to date with Kavichi, Conor Chaos, Cruisin, Spank. I'm not Zeus. Yeah, Nebula team. I already kind of introduced at length there. What are you guys thinking about this one?
Instincted 2!
Whoa, you're so far away, Strem. I was almost fooled.
Instinct and 2. Can I throw down a good old Mercy?
Oh.
Is that? I think it's my.
Oh yeah,
time to
Mercy
shine.
2. Yeah, Mercy
Mercy.
2.
No,
Mercy-
no, it's copying
Mercy,
me.
no, Mercy,
What
Mercy, Mercy,
original?
Mercy, Mercy.
What kind of toxic punk would bet a
I
Mercy?
voted first. I voted first. Mercy.
I would.
I mean, you
No,
can
I
both place
I-
a Mercy bet
Because
here.
Instinct is really good.
Man, you need to flip that
about the
W in
lyrics?
your name. Andy M for Mercy. And Andy
Oh, yeah.
Strem. Anyway,
That's a
go
little
on,
bit
I'm done.
weird. That's a little
I-
weird,
yeah.
Palador. What are you suggesting?
I mean, isn't it implied?
Oh,
I
no.
mean, yeah. I just want to hear you say it.
Oh no.
turn,
the
turn this
implication.
train around. Turn this train around.
The Joker train. Yeah, so about that. In the criminal justice system. Anyways, Instinct in 2 for me.
Instinct and 2.
Why are we all voting the same thing? This is stupid.
Well, Instinct's stupid good, and they added in Cruisin' and Spank, and I think they.
What do you mean?
instantly
They've got
shot up.
Kavichi, bro.
Is that a
I'm
diss?
just kidding. I'm
Yeah, I
just
can't
fucking
tell
kidding.
what
I'm
that was.
I'm just
I couldn't
kidding.
tell
I'm
which
just
one
kidding.
that was.
Yo, okay. First off, I meme with Kavichi all the time. I don't really hate that man. I love Kavichi.
Yeah, I
he's
call him
probably
Grandpa
my
Kevin.
It's probably my favorite person I ever see in a pub, dude. I'd like calling him Kevin. That's a new thing we started doing after his last game on VRML, where he carried the whole shit out of his entire team. Cruisin' don't even do
That's
shit
gross.
in goal. What's gross about it?
He carried. Never mind.
Oh man.
He carried his whole team.
Yeah, that's what you said the second time. Anyway, moving on.
All right, yeah.
Instinct and 2, dude. Mercy.
Instinct and 2. A double Mercy bet on that game. So we got now use that to move on to this next one. An interesting matchup here between Genesis and Flair, a team that has otherwise been really hot lately with a couple of big upsets over Illuminati and Kang. And it was a really big upset the other day. But yeah, Flair coming up against Genesis, a new-ish team. They're new this season. Not new to comp and not new players. That's H Money SD, Jay Tabeka, Caden, Knife Rich, Azon, and Keith. I think that's up to date. And yeah, of course, Flair with a kind of a roster shakeup. Originally, Shepard was their kind of all-time defensive goalie player, but then there was a game he wasn't available for, in which Game Dash, Chrome Platypus, Grumpiest Broom, and Voodoo kind of all played, and that was, I think, that Illuminati game where they came away with that win. And it's kind of that old saying in hockey: you don't pull the hot hand. You know, even if your backup goalie's in, if he's winning, you're not taking him out. And I think they might have found something particularly special with this lineup here of Game, Chrome, Grumpy, and Voodoo.
Yeah,
Well,
they kind of turned into like the hot squad. Like they started doing it in scrims a lot, and then it kind of just turned into the squad they ended up running. But what were you saying, Pally?
Oh, I just wanted to say real quick because can't help but feel a little bad. It's not that we're doubting you, late toast, but it's just more so, I think the Nova game, we all said 3 rounds. I think that could go either way. For Instinct, in that case, I feel Instinct is too hard to stop, which is quite frankly, because other than they had a little bit of a dip in the last couple of weeks, but they're just they're a strong team, and that's kind of they've got more of that experience. That's what it comes down to. Like I said, just more so the experience factor for a lot of these picks when you're talking about newer team rosters and such. I know like Instinct switch up their roster pretty dramatically compared to preseason. So
And
when it comes to that, I just like going.
I don't
head to
feel
head.
bad. Burnt toast.
Late Toast in chat
Wow.
calling you all bots.
He was calling me a bot. Come on, burnt toast.
Burnt toast. That's. I think I've gone to that one before. Now, I don't want to go to the other puns because we're getting off track here. But yes.
All right.
Just kidding. I'm gonna totally
Yeah,
make some more before the end of the
Genesis
stream.
versus Flair.
Flair and 2.
Oh yes,
Flair
yes,
and
yes.
2.
Okay, so it depends on who Flair plays with. If they play with Grumpy or Shepard, or another sub, depends. I don't know. If they play with Shepard, he reminds me of Skinny too much, so they'll definitely lose.
Get wrecked.
If they got Grumpy, Flair, I'm gonna say Flair in 2 though. Yeah.
For Flair and 2 for me as well. I mean, give out a shout out too to H Money, because again, in the streams that I've casted, been saying his name an awful lot because he has had some pretty good games as of late as well. But yeah, for me, it's Flair in 2, I think. Especially if they are running their hot roster. I know they're coming off the 1 loss yesterday, but really, I don't expect that to play a long-term effect, really. So, yeah.
And just on that note of the Flair roster, I would expect because they after that upset over Illuminati, I think it was after that one. It could have been the one after Kang, but they officially changed the roster because Shepard was the team captain all up until, and then he probably, I would imagine he still is, like in their actual team dichotomy maybe, but they did move him down to their official rostered sub. Excuse me. I hope that wasn't that loud. But yeah, so I would expect, unless somebody can't make a game, that we would continue to see that hot roster playing out moving forward. But yeah, so continuing on with Flair, they're getting another opportunity for. I guess at this point we got to stop calling them upsets. But another opportunity at another 2 weeks ago would have been considered an upset. Flair versus Infinite. Yeah, a team of YouTube, Palace, Mamba, and I don't know who else.
Weird. That's
Yeah.
odd.
Although didn't
Yeah.
of course I'm kidding. That's the team of the twins, the Zach, the W brothers, Andy and Zach. But isn't Mamba
Also,
left the team recently? Didn't he?
-1 stake, +1 Rose. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes,
right.
we got the addition of Rosie now, and we just wanted to switch up subs a little bit. And that's gonna be interesting to do too. She brings a really good positive attitude to the team, and that's definitely something we need. But I'm gonna go with probably us and 2, going just based off of how we played in the last match against them. And once we kind of get some momentum going against them, I think they might struggle a little bit. So I'm gonna go with us and 2.
Infinite and 3. I don't want to talk about it.
Don't want to talk about it?
I don't
don't
want
wanna-
to talk about it.
No,
Why?
I
What-
act-
what- Strembetsky,
actually,
what-
I'm going to
what do
actually
you
talk
like?
about it because I just realized I completely omitted Orbit here. So I'm going to take a moment to get those the Orbit games in here. So yeah, take 3 minutes to expand on whatever you don't want to talk about there, Strum.
Yeah, yeah. What do you like about
So,
Infinite,
yeah,
Strembetsky?
Infinite's a worse team than King Gorillas, so that's why they're gonna win this game against Flair. And 3 and 3. Definitely
Words,
3
teams,
games.
3-2-1.
They're gonna try their best. It's gonna be a really hard game. Flair's a good team. They're definitely top 10, top 3, top 2. Infinite's better than us, so they're gonna win. Wait, they're worse than us, so they're
Wait,
gonna
wait,
win.
wait,
Hold
wait,
on.
wait, wait.
Wait,
What
I like
now?
where this is going.
Wait.
Infinite is better than us. Strembitsky 2020.
Somebody call
I
it
said I
happened.
didn't want to talk about it. This is
Well, you just did. So, hey, what do you like about Andy W? How's his game?
Andy W is pretty good. I like his game. He does some shoots and catches, and he definitely uses his look around. He definitely has a headset on while he plays. That is confirmed.
Headset confirmed.
He's- I think
Oh,
it's safe
shoot.
to, dude. I think it's pretty safe to assume he's got a headset on. You can see it on his head. There's no AFK message when he's playing. What else?
I thought he was game padding.
I mean, if we're trying to discuss comparing, if we're trying to compare skills, I think he's definitely got a lot of points spent on the casting tree. Personally,
Mhm.
I wouldn't be spreading out those points. I'd be focusing on one or the other because you can't be good at 2 things. You want to be like God at one thing,
You know, technically, Sealable's on the casters list too now.
And technically, Sealable puts max points into every skill, so we can't talk about him.
Well, Sealable
Sealable, the
anyway. Just to
min-maxer.
clarify, more so up on the production end of things, helping out with that more than casting. At least as of late. We'll see if we can't drag him into the booth one of these days. But yeah.
But I do believe we still need a call from Palador on this Flare Infinite game.
Yeah. For me, I'll concur with Strem there. I think Infinite in 3.
Oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna have to send this directly to Flare here as the doubt from you
well,
guys.
because Andy, or I think you said, didn't we, too, just opening that up, like Flair, the upset kings of sorts over the last few weeks, and I kind of mentioned in the opener of the cast yesterday too. I was like, at some point, this is going to stop being upsets and being more just expected. But I think they had a big test against what was a hot Joker team, obviously only losing against King, who were undefeated at the time of those losses, and I feel Joker just kind of they did what they did, and Flair maybe a little bit going to come into that match a little less confident than they would compared to their wins versus Illuminati and remind me King. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Palador not a fan of Flare, so we'll use that to move on to Orbit versus Instinct.
Palador not a fan of Dimwee. How about?
Sorry,
I haven't fired you yet, but I just might now.
I would if there was. I might have
that's-
to institute another like a host call on one of these. Like I don't know what it would amount to, because I would definitely pick Flair in that matchup just because I really want to see them continuing on that the upset streak. So
Well, it
maybe
could
I'll have to
happen. I
think
wouldn't
of
be
something over next
surprised.
week.
It's one of those what, like you say about expectations versus
Intentions versus expectations. Yeah.
yeah. And I think I don't, I guess related to that, I don't expect it, but at the same time, like I wouldn't be surprised, like if Flair
makes
did win.
sense.
But that's why I say 3 games. I think it'll be close, but really both teams are liable to go on both, I think, runs and potential droughts at times, just depending on the kind of the flow of the game and how the pace is. So it's really one of those things. You mentioned the monster truck rally. I feel like for those 2 teams, it's really gonna bang heads a few times, and we'll see those moments of really good flow, and we might see those moments of just all kinds of ping ponging. So that's why I say 3. It's kind of unpredictable, but I think Infinite's been too hot the last 4 weeks now, record wise. I mean, aside of their loss against Joker, they've otherwise been just dominating, and even that loss was only by 2 points
Yeah, and I
total,
was fine with that. I was fine with it.
Yeah.
I was happy. It was pretty close. Both games.
So
Both
that's
games.
the main thing, exactly. Infinite's won again 6 out of the last 8 games, if I'm correct there, and yeah, record wise, I feel more confident, I guess, with them.
All right, so now we're on Orbit versus Instinct. Both gold tier teams, both very capable. Orbit definitely kind of earned their gold tier spot a few weeks ago, and Instinct kind of defending theirs as they're just kind of getting up in there. And yeah, very curious to see because Instinct, could if they have a good game, they could definitely take it over Orbit. But Orbit is one of those teams. They're kind of, I would say, maybe not so much anymore, but they were perpetually, I'd say, underestimated for a while there. And then now at this point, definitely proving their place in that gold tier there. But curious what you guys are thinking about this one.
Honestly, I think that applies to both Orbit too. A bit one of those underestimated teams dating back to preseason. Maybe less so lately. I think Instinct has been more in that position, but yeah, both of those teams really dark horses throughout VRML and starting to really emerge and be recognized like as they deserve to be as top teams, gold teams, not even master at some point. As far as who's gonna win this one, I made so many game 3 estimations. I feel like I'm really like pigeonholing myself here because game 3s have not been so frequent as of late. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Instinct, and I'm gonna say 2 just because I want to average out my guesses a little bit. That's
of course,
honestly it.
This will be the one game that actually goes to 3. All the rest are gonna go to 2. You know that.
Caster's curse, right?
Caster's curse.
Yeah, I think regardless of what happens, regardless of who wins, this is going to go to 3 games. And I think if Orbit wins in 3, it's going to be because their comms are like super relaxed and they're just having fun, probably laughing the entire time. If they lose, it'll be because their comms are like way too serious and they're all like quiet. And I'm gonna go with Orbit in 3, take a little bit of a chance on it.
I feel like either of these teams can win. Like I feel like it's a very competitive matchup, so it's kind of hard to say. I'm gonna just go with Orbit in 2, just because of the more experience against the higher level teams, and
That's fair.
I don't know. Maybe Instinct will just totally prove me wrong, but I mean, Orbit gave. I mean, Stram Mount Kango. Looking at the score, it was 21-18, and just going off some of that. I mean, in the past,
Oh, that
2
was
games-
easy though. Easy though. It's
easy. Yeah.
It's an easy 3-point gap. That's what you got to understand.
Yeah, easy. And then they played us next week, and our score is 34-23, so we're just better than Kangarillas. But I think Orbit just has, especially with how Gamerboy sits in the back. If he doesn't sit too far back and stays a little bit more active, maybe and intercepts those clears. I think Instinct struggles with clears a little bit, so I'm gonna go with Orbit in 2 still.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so we
fair
got
enough.
Andy with Orbit in 2, Palador with Instinct in 2, and Shem with Orbit in 3. So no agreement there between panelists here. And so we're going to Orbit again here. Genesis versus Orbit. Genesis again, that new-ish team of H Money, Jade Baker, Cade, and Knife Rich, Ace, Keith.
Orbit in 2.
Orbit in 2.
Same. Orbit and 2. I don't think it'll be a Mercy or anything. Genesis, fine team for sure, but just experience level there. Obviously, Orbit's got more of that established precedence over the weeks. I think compared to Genesis, who are still, again, respectable record, but just trying to kind of make their name still. While Orbit's already there.
Yeah, and H Money's a really good player. I think he's the best one on the team as long as he keeps a cool head. I know he can kind of just like let go. If he can start to like wrangle that in, maybe he'll start to do some more damage against the team, and we can see some different results come out.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so now we've got, and we're actually skipping one because I'm saving the best for last. So we're going to skip ahead now to Kang versus Illuminati. And yeah, it's certainly a matchup I'm excited to see, especially Kang's been so hot lately, and Illuminati over the last week or two maybe struggling a little
Choking! Illuminati's been choking. Kang too. It's over.
bit. Oh,
let's go.
And we're
King
playing on
2-0.
Chicago.
King 2-0.
Oh
Chicago.
no!
Chicago servers too good.
King
Some-
2-0
somewhere
Chicago
out there,
servers.
somewhere out there, Ender just woke up in a cold sweat.
Oh man. Okay. So Strum with Kangen too. Do you guys agree?
Yep. King and 2. Judging also by the insta quit today, I feel like their comms were probably pretty heated, and they're probably not too happy with some of the losses they've been taking recently. And if they can get that under control, it'll be a close game. But I think they're just in the super hard rut right now, and Kangos is on fire. So I'm gonna go King 2-0.
It's a really interesting dynamic almost. I feel like basically, remember Kangaroos went into season 3 of the ESL stuff, came out as champions, went into preseason, not the best 6 weeks of their careers there. Illuminati now, they won the preseason championships, not the best first 6 weeks of their VRML careers. I feel like they kind of flip-flop here. Kangos came out hot, despite the fact that they have finally lost one game and only one. They are still the hotter team, and they've done the reverse here. Illuminati's now in Kango's spot. It's where it's almost that championship curse of sorts. You win it, and then you just kind of go into the next season not quite as on point as you were. So for me, yeah, Kango's in 2.
I feel like Illuminati's a little bit streaky too. I feel like if they can get back in that like momentum again, then maybe we can start to see it. But yeah, for sure, a pretty good analogy of like putting it together with the on and off.
And I do wish Ender was here in chat with us to experience this. The fact that all three of you picking Kangen too, because I would
I
love
would
to see
gladly
his response to that.
leave my booth here and let him replace me just for the last few minutes.
Like, oh, I might have even been willing to bring him into the chat, bring him into the comms just for a moment to respond in person, because Ender loves to stir the pot on occasion, and on occasion.
He won't keep
just a
that
little bit.
energy, bro. He won't keep that energy.
Oh man, I hope someone's clipping this and sending this to Illuminati.
I'm
Watch out
signing
for
up for this
OC7.
game. When is it? Oh man.
It's gonna be good though. It's gonna be well fought. It's definitely an exciting matchup to look forward to. But yeah, the next one on the list would have been Joker Illuminati. It is Joker Illuminati. But that game already happened. Joker taking that one in 2, and Andy commenting that Illuminati quit out of that game fairly quickly. The insta drop.
Yeah, Joker just took it away pretty quick, and in pretty Joker fashion, they kind of got into their heads, and it kind of showed. I know there's like some stuff that happened between the pregame that some people were unhappy about, but Joker's just been too on fire on top of all that.
I've been commenting ever since Joker picked up Dash. I know there's some disagreement. I've seen some people say they played a lot better with Rocker, but from what I've seen, Dash kind of brought in a certain level of discipline. That Joker was really needing some sort of discipline, but their formation passing lately has reminded me of Kang's formation passing. It's been really disciplined, really controlled. I mean, you can raspberry that
right now.
You can raspberry that all you want. You can spit take it, but that's what I've seen.
They're good at passing. Okay, I can give them that. I was just memeing. It's all good.
Oh, Skinny. Oh,
yeah. Skinny can say that, but he's not intercepted a single pass from us. He's just watched it happen from his team, so he can't even talk.
It's irrelevant. He's not main roster.
Got him.
Oh man,
Skinny. I would say you're fired again, but you just got burned by them, so I won't.
Pretty much. So yeah, keeping on with Joker here, we'll go ahead and transition to our penultimate game of the week. This is Joker versus Nova. We're going to be playing tomorrow night. That one was the first game of the week, the first game of this week to get scheduled. Because immediately Jaywalker was messaging me. I was like, I mean, I'm good with it, but basically you're talking through me to talk to Venom right now. So PM Venom, and Jaywalker was more concerned with getting the Venom to accept his friend request because it's been a while, and he's taking it personally. But of course, I love Jaywalker, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put my own money on this. So I'm gonna say Nova in 2. Let you guys take this one away from me, as I'm probably a little biased.
Yeah, I gotta let credit Monopoly money, didn't we?
I got food on the way here. I gotta answer this first, then go get it. It's just like at my door. So I think Nova is gonna show up to this game. and I think it's gonna be Joker in 3s. I'm gonna go kill that.
And he's
I
gone.
mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I'll take that Joker in 3. I'll take, because that means we get a game on Joker. Which I mean, even if we lost but still got a game on Joker, I think I'd walk away feeling pretty good about that.
After what I watched today, I'm gonna go with Joker in 2, just because I feel like they have the pace. I mean, they had us pretty much on our heels. I felt like, and it's just like it's a tough.
What are you
team to go
saying?
up against.
Infinite's better than Nova?
Uh,
Is that what
yes.
you're saying right now, Andy?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna get invited back. Let's go.
These last few matches have taken a
this is my
dark
last
turn.
stand. No, I just think Joker is on one. Even when they have Skinny, I feel like it didn't hurt them at all. So Joker in 2.
I'm back.
Threw a
Is that
little
like another
backhand
passive
shade.
aggressive?
Yeah, I think it was.
No.
Even with Skinny, they're really good.
They just yeah, Skinny sucks.
Hear that, Skinny? Do I hear a challenge match? Says 5-Spotted Dog.
Maybe.
I would definitely be interested in seeing it.
Sauce one up.
I'll give a little
We can, we can-
credit to Skinny, because I kind of razz on him a bit, but he did have that awesome game-winning save, and he fit in the roster just fine, despite the fact that normally Kung being the main guy. So he's been playing well. I'm not gonna say anything to inflate his ego too much, but it's been okay.
That was more my
It's
point.
been
Though.
okay.
He is still like I haven't seen what he played one main roster game before that, right?
Yeah,
I don't know who he was against.
I believe he's played 3 total now,
I
like
didn't
the
watch it.
2 yesterday, and then I think 1 a week before.
Yeah, but what I meant by that is he did really good job like stepping up into Kung's shoes and making sure he filled everything and more, because he did super well today. It was a really good performance.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, for me, I guess, as much as I do love me some Nova guys, like Andy said there, Joker kind of on another level as of late, especially. I mean, yeah, just can't deny it. So two for Joker, on my end.
All right, so that'll move us on to the final matchup of the week. Obviously, this one taken out of order, but we got to save the best for last year. This is Infinite
Strem is
versus
gone.
Kang. No,
I'm back.
Strem's back. Yeah, he's stuffing his face, but he's here. So
Dude,
yeah,
that's good.
Infinite versus Kang. Two teams that need no introduction, and I'll just let you two take that one away.
Shem, you want to start us
Dude.
off? Let's hear what you gotta say.
He needed a full stomach to start this.
Yeah, he just got his food. Let's hear.
Infinite in 3.
Whoa.
Correct. Wait, what?
Whoa.
Wait, what?
If I give myself something to work for, such as proving myself wrong, then that's what I'll do.
Is this like when SN picked 6 foot over on Nova the other day?
It might be. He might have just taken any strat on it.
You want to throw a mercy bet in there? 5-Spotted's asking.
I'm not getting
Oh.
mercied by this fucking team.
Come on, man. Come on.
Live a little.
Infinite in 3. I have some good faith in what we've been able to do and what we've been kind of changing up recently. I don't know, close games. We've always had close games with them. I don't think any game has really felt like it's like out of reach for them to win still or do anything. And they beat us in the first match, and we took a lot of first match of this season, and we took a lot of context out of it, and we learned a lot from it. So I think it's going to be really good, and especially with Chicago server, everybody's on way better ping, and it's way more competitive and fun. So be super good.
So what was your call?
I'm saying Infinite in 3.
Infinite in 3.
Yeah, but how bad does Strem suck though? Come on, I mean, just give me something.
We're not giving you what you want, Paladar.
Oh man, okay, no blood tonight, I guess. Strem betting against himself for apparently reverse psychology, and Andy betting for himself. Just normal psychology for me.
I've lived with my own brain long enough to recognize that it's super fucked up, and I know that the backwards like ins and outs, like the squiggly lines, I gotta run to make things work out. So don't test me. Don't guess my strats. We're gonna lose in 3.
So basically, your brain is like the human equivalent of like spaghetti code. You're saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, this one's like probably the toughest call of the week of all these matches. Honestly, it's going to be 3, in my opinion. I've said that too much today, but this one especially, as much as anything, I think will be 3. Oh, I don't know. I'll go with King just to be different from the other. Not that's a cop out. No, I mean, look, Infinite's been super hot, but I feel like Kang's still right up there. I mean, until Kang eats another loss, and if it's in an ugly fashion at any point in this season, or if they do have an average game, but as of yet, I haven't seen Kang even really play like bad. You know, they've had some average ones maybe, but they haven't played like they haven't had any like just days where they haven't showed up at least, you know, enough to impress. So I think I'll go with King in 3, but it's so tough. It's so tough.
King in 3, and also worthy of note is that this is the number 2 and the number 3 teams in NA. But that's a record of 9-1 to Kang and a record of 6-4 to Infinite. Just for some further context there.
Yeah, and when I'm saying that too, I mean I'm more so referring to just the Infinite start. Their first couple weeks, obviously not the greatest start. And like I said, they've been locked on the last 4 now. So, yeah, you know, I'm kind of almost going off of old data to be honest. But as I said, until King, I guess, proves me wrong, that's why I'm going to go with King.
Thanks, bro.
Sure. I'm not sure what that does for your spaghetti.
Your vote back.
Yeah, maybe I just nullified it or commentators curse it. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, commentators curse. I'll go with it.
Yeah. See, I'm working for Andy, actually.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Yeah, that's that is our last matchup. We did get through all of these, and yeah, it took about a little over an hour, about an hour 10, hour 15, maybe an hour 20. I actually don't know exactly when we started.
Not more like an hour 4:20. Am I right, Strem?
Yeah. By the way, Palador, I don't know what kind of dig you were trying to make when you were casting earlier, and you're like, "Oh, hey, Strem in chat, or you're pretty lit again." Like, what is that supposed to mean, bro?
Nothing. I just
because you're right doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
No, I think someone made a comment in chat about lit, and you know how my brain with the word association, and I saw Strem saying something in chat.
You just get toxic. Is that it? Is that it?
No, I just like bantering with people who can't banter back at me.
Oh, dude. Respect, though.
Oh, okay, cool. Buy my mixtape. I don't. Anyway, yeah.
So yes, that'll be the cap on this one for our forward echo this week. Of course, we will be back on Sunday. At least I hope we can be back on Sunday. I will be back on Sunday. And I'm definitely going to be pestering these guys to be back on Sunday. I know Palador can probably be here. Strem's saying he can be here. Andy will say whatever he wants to say, but we'll find out on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, bud. Oh, yeah, bud.
Oh, yeah. You betcha.
Yeah, so before we go, of course, we got to give everybody an opportunity to rep whatever, shout out whatever. What's the word I'm looking for? Boost, plug. Thank you, plug. Whatever you have to plug, and so we will just go in alphabetical order. Andy, if you have anything you want to plug.
All right, make sure to watch our matches. Our match is going to be Wednesday night, and I believe Thursday night, and the Kango one's going to be Wednesday, so that's hype. And I stream on, Twitch TV, Andy Double Ya, and I'll stream Echo Arena Pubs and Beat Saber.
Palador, anything you want to plug?
Want to plug 5 Spotted Dogs pun there. Stremlitsky. I'm kind of ashamed I didn't get that one first, but yeah, well done. The 5 spotted with a few clever ones tonight. Get you in the commentary booth, I guess. But yeah, want to plug that. I also want to plug Lil Paper Stick on SoundCloud. That's Jaywalker's SoundCloud. I still think yet to have anything uploaded, but follow it. And other than that, I mean, catch me every single day on VRML 1 usually. And that's all I really have to plug. And
Strem, if you have anything you want to plug.
I guess just really like my team, Kangorillas. Watch us play Synapse. Sorry, Infinite on Wednesday, dude. Leverage in our schedule puts it as Synapse still. I'm sorry, but we don't have our other match scheduled yet.
We had a proper burial.
Yeah, and then also I guess just my Twitch stream, just at Strembitsky. I stream a lot of Escape from Tarkov and Echo.
All right, and of course, my plug is if you're here, you already know what it is. That's twitch.com/Sir Dimwee, where we do these the weekly Echo, the forward Echo every week. So yeah, that'll do it here for us tonight. A round of applause to everybody for being here. Successful cast, I think. Went really well. A lot of activity there. And yeah, so like I said, we'll be back on Sunday. We always aim for 10 p.m., but that can always it tends to get pushed back. There's usually games going on, particularly on Sunday. So yeah, either way, we'll be back on Sunday. It might be a little bit later than that 10 o'clock target. But nonetheless, we will be back. So, yes, thank you, everybody in chat, for being here tonight. Thank you to Andy W. of Infinite, Palador of Eclipse, previously of Eclipse, and currently of VRML, and Shrimbitsky of Kangarillas for being here tonight. And look forward to having you guys back on Sunday. And yeah, everybody here watching, have a good night. Be safe. Kiss your loved ones. And,
Wash your hands.
And wash your hands. Don't touch
Coronavirus
your
again.
face. Yeah, and we'll see you in a week. Good night.